welcome to Marilyn Hall. Actually, we nearly didn't get this week. She's been dashing around and she's got her own show now. And you can find it somewhere on YouTube if you're brave enough.
YouTube, unprecedented TV.
That's it.
Anybody wants to come on my show I'm trying to get all this sort of literally the dark side of issues that nobody actually wants to really
Yes.
understand somebody else's reality. Tomorrow, I've got Professor Melanie Lang, who is the chief safeguarding person for sport.
Oh, Mel. Yes.
Yeah,
No,
oh, Mel,
Melanie.
she's coming on tomorrow. Then I've got Professor talking about next week, talking about domestic homicide.
Mm,
And I've emailed a couple of people today that I saw one little boy. I would urge anyone to go online and have a look. He was born, a little boy called Noah Wall, born up in Cumbria with only 2% of a brain.
gracious.
And he had horrendous hydrocephalus and spina bifida. And he's now currently 9 or 10 years old. He can talk. The only thing he can't do, well, I haven't got the update, but I was watching him when he was 3 or 4 years old. Not, it was sort of like a bit paralyzed from the waist down. But I mean, considering he can talk, he can count, he can do all sorts of things.
The
There's been
brain is absolutely remarkable.
unbelievable. So I sent it what I'd seen. I sent it to my daughter-in-law and son because I said, Lydia can come through this. You cannot ever underestimate a baby's brain. You
No.
can't.
No.
And the brain was actually diminishing with the water from the hydrocephalus. They could see the brain and they thought he might end up with no brain,
Golly.
and he can speak. He's a sweetheart. And I mean, I would urge you go and have a look at Noah Wall, the boy with 2% brain. And I've emailed them in the hope that they might come on the show. You
Oh,
never know,
good.
do you? If you don't ask, you don't get. So we'll wait and see. But I hope so, because that story of hope is the number of children that are born with neurological damage at
Yeah.
birth,
Yeah.
like my Lydia. And I really hope they do. We'll see, but I'll keep you posted. But yeah, amazing, amazing story of hope. Incredible.
Well, that's great. And nice promo. I needn't pay her this week, so that's all right. Now, I tell you what, we must discuss because we've been involved with dementia, both of us. And when you encounter this at close quarters, you realize what a rotten, evil disease it is.
It is. It's brutal. It's really brutal.
Mm.
And a friend of mine has recently passed away in hospital. And it was really quite disturbing. His wife is a good friend of mine, and it was like somebody had pulled out a plug in his brain. He had got to the point where he wasn't communicating or anything like that, but this was extraordinary. He literally was in his hallway. He passed away 2 weeks ago, so it was 2 weeks before that. He had a pair of kitchen scissors and he wouldn't go in the living room, and he was pointing them towards his wife, and she was trying to stop him. He wouldn't go in the room, he wouldn't go in any room. He went upstairs, locked himself in the upstairs bathroom. She tried to take the handle off because a modern house she could get into it, but then he blocked her so she couldn't get in at the bathroom. So she waited for him to come out, sat on the bed waiting for him. He went downstairs and he locked himself in the downstairs cloakroom and wouldn't let her in again. So she waited in the kitchen. Out he came eventually, went upstairs, then locked himself into the uh, uh, what do you call it, the ensuite bathroom. And she thought, this is just ridiculous. There's a special number you can call for distress. They call it the DIS team. It's something to do with dementia, something support services. Anyway, they came out and they took him into hospital to have a look at. But by now, he's got really what they call it like a mania, like manic. And he wouldn't let any of the nurses, they had to give him an EEG to see what was going on with the brain. He wouldn't let them get near him. He was fighting and kicking with them, and they had to heavily sedate him to actually do a brain scan. So they did that, and then he had like 20 years ago, he'd had a quadruple bypass, and he also has diabetes. But he was like, they then found he had flu, so he couldn't go in any of the other wards. He couldn't go into a care home for assessment. So they put him in a side ward, but he was wandering around without a mask on, this, geriatric ward. So she had to go because the nurses had no time to sit with him. So she had to go in and try and stop him. And then with the flu lasted about a week. And then he went into a care home. He lasted 3 days and the flu came back again. So then his wife, Jean, she gets him, there's something inside her made her think, I don't think he's going to come back here. So she emptied the room that she'd taken his stuff to, went back into the hospital. And that was like on a Saturday night. And on the Sunday, he was pulling all his tubes out. And then they noticed that his legs were filling up with fluids because they had him on a water drip. Yeah. So then they drained the water out of him, and then he was dehydrated. So then they had to retube him again to put the water back in again. Then that impacted his breathing, and he was like really trying to breathe from almost down the diaphragm, ever so labored breathing. They couldn't give him his medication for his diabetes because he was fighting them and pushing them away and kicking them away. And then they were trying to like resuscitate him, and she was saying, "Please don't, please don't. Can he just be kept comfort, please?" And oh, we want to try, but would you please not do it? Anyway, they carried on. And then that shift ended, and they'd said, "Oh, well, actually, you're probably right. We'll go for comfort." So that shift ended, a new doctor comes in. New doctor starts the resuscitation again. And she, "No, no, we've been through this. We've been through this with the other team. We want to just go for comfort." "Oh, no, no, I really feel I've got to do this." So he goes through all this stuff again. And then he goes, "All right, yes, okay, comfort then. All right, we'll go for comfort." And gave him a massive shot of morphine, and he passed away 2 hours later.
Yes, comfort is a bit of a euphemistic phrase, isn't it?
So, I don't know whether she had, and I would suggest to anyone, I've got it on my power of attorney, do not resuscitate. I don't know whether she had done that. I don't know. I'm sort of kind of thinking that she probably didn't because they were obviously messing around with him to try and get. But the fact they had him on a drip and his legs were like, because obviously his kidneys couldn't have been working. And oh no, now he's oh my gosh, let's get this water out of his system. Oh my word, now he's dehydrated. Oh, let's all put it back in again. What are they doing?
Yeah, and the cases are so sad we come across. You lose your loved one often months before
Oh,
they
yeah,
eventually
yeah,
pass
yeah. Well,
away.
absolutely. I mean, I would say the last 6 months, I've seen him. Yeah, I mean, get a lot worse. But maybe, he was still going to walking football. He still turned up for things. He still smiled and might say a couple of words, but not, But towards the end, I mean, he really had completely lost the plot. What is so sad was this mania that he had. He was obviously having horrific hallucinations.
Yeah,
I mean, and you think, my golly, how mentally, what must he have been suffering from? Because he was trying to push everything away, and oh dear Lord, it must have been awful for his wife, awful, But that is, I'm trying to get someone on my show from Dementia UK to come and talk about what an awful illness it is. And I think Alzheimer's is probably worse because the Alzheimer's and vascular dementia, I think, are really bad. There's 100 types of different dementia, but the vascular one does seem to very fast go downhill, and the Alzheimer's seems to be very bad with the memory. It seems to go really quite
yes,
fast. Other
yes.
ones don't. You get the ones linked with Parkinson's. It can be the Parkinson's that's worse, and the memory stays for longer, but you still get the confusion.
Well,
And
it's
it's
now
very, very sad. Sad for everybody. And you
yeah,
find that people don't want to come and see you. They don't want to visit you, the
no, no,
carers.
no. It's a bit of an embarrassment, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it is now the biggest killer
Oh, yeah, I'm
by
sure.
a
I'm
long
sure.
way.
Yeah, I'm sure. And also, um, I had the uh, was he chairman of Mankind on, and he was saying like with that this is a domestic abuse charity for men, and we would stop talking about suicide, and he was saying that it is suicide for men between 35 and 50. Suicide is the biggest killer for the men.
Yes, that's Mark you're referring to.
Yes,
Yeah.
he needs to come on your show.
We've got a show with him tomorrow. How about that?
Oh, excellent.
A couple of
Please send it to
promos
me.
there for you.
He is so easy to interview. He's such a genuinely nice guy.
Mm.
Really is.
Right, we're
So,
going to cheer you up now. You need cheering up after that lot. 2.5 million pounds worth of gold bars were discovered by an English chappie. He's a collector of army mobile stuff, a tank in this case. Who puts gold bars in a tank? Well, the enemy, obviously. It was a tank made in China. It was used in Iraq. Now we know what happens to all the gold. And he gets this, pays a small fortune, and it was very small fortune for it. And he discovers this, and he has to hand it legally into the authorities. And I thought, but why? We complain regularly about the overreach of authorities in many dimensions. But for goodness sake, let's take somebody going across the farm field with his Geiger counter or whatever they call them to see what metal's there and finds
yeah.
a pot
Mm.
of gold. Well, surely, to be fair on everybody, he should dig up the pot of gold, take it to the farmer, and they should split it between each other.
Absolutely.
That's normal common sense, but we know
Finders keepers, isn't it?
governments don't have that, and they took the whole lot. That
That's
is
dreadful.
dreadful.
Dreadful. Dreadful. That is, well, that is robbery as well, isn't it? I mean, it's not, I mean, it's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Golly, I never saw that story. Where was that?
That's a good question. Some stuff's just handed to me. That one I think was Spanish press that's published in English.
Oh,
So there you go.
well,
And
that's just awful. That's awful.
talking about Spanish worker laws, we're going to discuss. Do you think it's bad in England with the new Angela law coming out? Not as bad as it was, but it's still very bad for a normal employer. Here, when you are pregnant, you rub your hands because not only the lady gets 6 months off work, the man gets up to 6 months off work for paternity.
Wow. Oh, yeah, yeah. Some of the companies over here do that.
Well, it's driving the fellas round the bend. They're bored out of their minds after a fortnight. They can't wait to get back,
I
but
remember yes,
they're
I
fined
remember
heavily if they dare try.
my son's.
This is madness. We were caught in a situation where, and it was a medical situation, we desperately needed help from a senior nurse at the time. And he was on his holidays, bored out of his brain, not doing what he should have been doing. I think, I'm afraid it's feminist organizations again that have introduced this law, and it's always in a very socialist country.
That's interesting. That's very interesting because when my daughter worked in Dubai, they don't encourage women at all to have. I think you only have 6 weeks maternity leave. That's it, and you're back at work.
Yes, well, it used
And
to be like that in UK.
yeah, I know it did. I know it did. Yeah. And but you see, go back then, you didn't have the right to go back to work, did you? You had to reapply. You didn't have your job on hold. I mean, it's just how times have changed. It's unbelievable how times have changed. But the paternity stuff, I think it does depend on your position in the company. I think it depends on uh yeah, your position in the company really. I mean, I know two of my lads had 2 weeks, and then at some point they could have had it and gone on for 3 months. But both of them took it as summer holidays, really. They both got a camper van and went around Europe, you know, and used it that way. But yeah, I mean, I have to say, they couldn't wait to get back to work.
Yes, well, they made the most of it at least. Right, I've got a question for you.
Right.
Like GCSE, this is. I'm going to name various things here and ask a very simple question. What have the following got in common?
Oh God, I hope it's not anything to do with sums.
Ooh,
No, please.
no, it's not. Number one, nail bars. Number two, car wash. Number three, restaurants. Number four, kebab shops. What have they got in common?
Drug dealing.
Yes, that and illegal immigration.
Yeah. Unpaid workers. Yeah. But the two go together though, don't they?
They do. And cash only signs in the window.
Yeah.
Well, we've put up with this because we have a small chain of restaurants in the north of Wales for years. And you have a quiet word with the authorities and saying, look, they're trading illegally, they're paying their workers nuppence, etc., etc. And one of our restaurants came up for sale because we got the opportunity to buy one in a better place. Good business. So we put the restaurant up for sale. The only people that came in were immigrants, illegal immigrants. Oh, but they had one thing in common. We have to pay you cash. What do you mean cash? It's got to go through the books. No, it can't do. They're the only ones that could afford to buy a restaurant.
Oh,
and the
cash.
authorities known about this for years and have done nothing. But now Sir Keir comes along and says, oh, we've addressed the problem and we've arrested X amount of people. Tip of the iceberg.
Absolutely.
It's just window dressing again. And they're getting away with. And we can't sell that restaurant. It's not in a very popular place. It obviously is if you've got a kebab shop. The only people that have money are the illegals. That somewhat sums up the United Kingdom at the moment.
Well, it is dreadful. I mean, we've had it just come on the news today. You would have seen all the hooey going on about migrants, illegal migrants going into Crowborough. And Crowborough, I mean, we used to live not so far from it, down in Sussex. Beautiful place, beautiful place. And they were, I mean, I just feel gutted for them because they're going to move them into these army barracks. And they showed them on GB News today how they've all been like, they look like yeah, I mean, it looks like a World War II sort of sick bay, do you know what I mean? Metal beds and all of that. Well, so what? I mean, you're not going to stay in a hotel for goodness sake. But what I feel so sorry for the Crowborough residents, and the MP was on and said they were promised by the Home Office that they would have 72 hours warning of anyone coming in. So they all woke up this morning to find at 3:15 in the night, in the morning, in the night, early hours, these 45, I think it is, migrants came in under cover of darkness with no warning whatsoever. There's no security there. They can just wander around, and every single person coming, and there could be up to 600, are all men, all young, undocumented men, no women, no women at all. And then I saw yesterday, I think it was 20 million and I think it was up near Liverpool, on a migrant centre being built for migrants, which will only take 20 million. It's just outrageous. You know, I don't understand why why they just don't send them back. It's just ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. And there's no point in saying, oh, the Home Office can't do it, what they want to do. That's why they don't want to do it. That's the point.
Everybody knows that you get the government you deserve at an election. And I believe it's true. And I also believe that we've got a population that we deserve, because I am not asking people to do this, but I tell you what, this would never be tolerated in France or in Germany.
Oh,
They
my
do that.
good.
Farmers, they get bales of straw.
Oh, I love it.
Drive them down Whitehall.
I
It
love what they
cannot
do. The
go
farm.
on.
But they don't do that. I'm surprised because when you see the migrants on those coastal villages in France, you'd think they would be there actually kicking off, but they're not. Oh, we have to applaud the French police, don't we? Because they actually stopped one boat the
Oh,
other day.
hooray.
One boat. I don't know whether they got their feet wet, but one boat. Whoopie dee.
Shame.
That's like the one army person that was sent to Greenland, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
when we do
it's
things,
absolutely
we do
comedic.
them horribly. I know. Uh,
It's
in all this, and talking of restaurants and kebab shops, TGI Fridays have closed 16 branches. Now, nice,
Yes.
tasty foods, and That's 456 job losses.
Mm,
That
mm.
people don't appreciate what is happening in hospitality.
No, I mean you
Over
can.
to you, Rachel. What are you going to do about that?
Well, I mean, there she is at the Davos conference, isn't she? Because Keir Starmer didn't put his face out there, did he? Rumor has it that he didn't because he couldn't get a meeting with Trump.
Yes, lots of stories there. By the way, there are 35 branches of TGI Fridays available for use. But if one of the top dogs that is run super efficiently has to lose that many restaurants,
Mm.
what a pain
It's,
they
it,
are
it,
putting us
it's,
through.
I feel so, the hospitality industry is such, it's jolly hard work. I mean, I used to work in it. I was, not, I wasn't a chef or anything like that, but I used to be head receptionist in a hotel very many years ago. It's hard work, it really is. It's fun, but it's hard work. And I just think it's so sad when you go around these like these little villages like we have around here in Bedfordshire, and you see lovely pubs that are being closed down. I was at I was at a very feisty this morning. I was, Rodney, at the government planning appeal for these 170 houses that are wanted to be built down by a really busy roundabout where unbelievable. We had a government representative come. He was actually very good as the chairman. But we had, must have been one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There's been 10 people from Persimmon Homes, because that's the people that are building it, or want to build it. And you think, what a waste of money. And well, I just hope they don't get built. But I sort of kind of lost the plot with them. I sort of said, you really, quite frankly, you're sat there like a little lot of little grey men, and are you actually human? Do you understand what it's like?
No,
What you're
no,
wanting to do to our lovely little village, and it's disgusting. Are you human? Do you have blood running through your veins? All the lovely, because in the field they want to build it, we got a lot of red list, you know, fear of extinction, animals and birds. And their argument is, oh, they're fine. They'll go to the woods over the road. I said, no, they won't. They won't, because that's not their natural habitat. They're not. And what about the bees? The bees, who are a dying thing in this country. I'm a passionate fan of bees because, when you keep building these wretched houses, and we've got Universal Studios going up the road anytime soon, we've got a crematorium now that's being built. That's bringing in about 100 cars, or probably 300 or 400 every day. And then, the bumblebee population, when you build houses, between the diggers and everything else, it disrupts their centuries long flight paths, and they just disappear. They don't, it's criminal. I just, and they all sit there so superior, like they are really jumped up, really big opinions of themselves. You can see the way, I thought, oh,
it's
it can't.
inbred, it's in the DNA.
It is, it is, yeah,
Let me
yeah.
let me go back to the public house situations. I'm about to announce the 15th U-turn of this government. How can you run a country this way? Well, you can't, clearly. It's the 15th one. Apparently, Rachel and co have decided that they're going to give some more rate relief in April. So you're not going to go bump pubs. But they're not putting it on hotels. And it's the hotels that are paying it £50,000 extra and above, or restaurants. It's just pubs. I wonder why. Has it got something to do with the average pub visitor? Not all are Labour, but the majority are. Why
Mm.
just select one?
But I mean, I just don't know. They do truly look like a bunch of numpties, don't they? They really, really do. I mean, they just come up with an idea. It's announced on TV. There's no discussion. I mean, when was there any discussion? I don't remember a discussion being a big debate about the Chagos Islands. I don't remember anything to be said about that. I don't remember any discussion in Parliament about the Chinese embassy. What is
No,
wrong with this man? What is
every
wrong with
every
him?
every U-turn has come out of a lie.
Yeah, oh, yes, yes,
It's
yes.
the back door lie. Let's get even worse and dig deeper. The number of abortions in
Oh,
UK are way ahead of anything else in Europe.
This is awful.
It's
This,
1 in 3 conceptions are aborted. Right.
but yeah,
Question, why? Number one, it's been suggested, a weak church. Now, that's quite significant. Certainly in Roman Catholic countries, you would never get anywhere near these figures because the church still has some power. In
yeah.
Britain, the power that's in the church, well, let's not go into that. Marxism is number two, and what you are taught at school. Number three is the feminist philosophy. And that is, of course, that women can do everything, especially anything that men can't, like having children. And therefore, we choose to abort instead of other means of contraception. That goes on all the time. Somebody else has suggested it's because of the selfish jet set that we seem to produce these days.
But there's another biggie. There's another biggie that Asian families, once they find out that I can't remember whether if it's a girl, yes, if they're having a girl, then they're aborting the sex that they don't want. They shouldn't be allowed. Absolutely shouldn't be allowed. I mean, you can't.
This is the Indian population that the NHS is agreeing to their
It's dreadful.
killing because that's
It's
what it is.
murder. It's murder. It's absolutely appalling. Absolutely appalling. And you don't really know I'm trying to think. You're normally about 5 months pregnant when you have that scan, I think, when you can find out what the sex is. If I'm right, I think it's like that. So it's a fully formed fetus just has to fatten up a bit. And it is absolutely disgusting. And it's disgusting with the way that the NHS are also supporting first cousin marriages. Well, that's another thing that's come out of the Muslim stuff, isn't it? I mean,
Songbook,
first cousin
yes.
marriages. So you're gonna talk about going backwards. And now, because also the undocumented people that are coming in, and they don't come in with all sorts of vaccines, tuberculosis is going up. Now, I live up the road from Luton and down from Bedford. I'm in the middle of Bedfordshire. So we've got loads of ethnic people there. And Luton was even 8 years ago, Luton was the top town in the country for TB. Now, that is because of the ethnic community. When these people come in, are they not given inoculations when they come in? I mean, rather than the free dentistry, free glasses, free this, free that, they're bringing in they're bringing in diseases that we haven't had for years. Diphtheria is another one. Smallpox will be another one. You wait and see. They're all ones that have been and gone and haven't been
There is
bothered.
no intention of stopping immigration, legal and illegal, by this government. They're just rearranging the proverbial deck chair on the Titanic. They come up with fancy figures until you drill down these figures. They are doing nothing because most of them are let loose again in the country, which takes us to Italy and Georgia Meloni, in particular, Prime Minister there. Oh, has she got it right? Is
I
this,
really like her.
I do. Is this Thatcher too? And she is, of course, and her fellow inmates of Italy, she is in the EU and she can do it, whereas we outside the EU can't.
Yeah,
Not very
because
popular. And I'll tell you what she said. 3 things this week. No to LGBT lobbies. Can you imagine us saying that in Britain? Not a chance you'd be in jail saying that in Britain.
exactly.
She says it. Next one. No to Islamist violence. Ah, we might get close to that one, but she's dead right. And the third one, no to mass immigration.
Absolutely right.
Now, why can't you, Sir Keir,
Well,
get anywhere near that?
because he doesn't want to. I mean,
Exactly.
so what's she doing then? Is she, because they have been inundated with people, haven't they? Is she sending them back, the ones that are already
Yes,
there?
she's using various ways and
So
means,
she's, yeah,
but they're
because
genuine returns.
I saw you. I don't know if you saw it on the news. It was today, I think. Yes, it was today. The Swedish Prime Minister lady, um, she is accepting that there are Islamists in the country, but she is saying they are not going to be allowed to practice Muslim as they or Islam as they do in their own countries because it doesn't fit in with their society. Absolutely right. So is she banning the burqa? I've got a feeling she might be, and should do. It absolutely should do. But people can do these things, and they're not doing them. There's no reason why we can't. There's no reason why we can't. They just don't want to, and it's going to bring down. I mean, I saw Trump the other day, which I thought it was brilliant. We have to know what he really thinks of Starmer. I mean, it's
Does
awful.
he think?
Um, I just cannot believe the stuff that's in 18 months, what a mess they have made.
The
I mean,
Tories made a mess, but nothing like this lot.
nothing like this, nothing like this. But then again, yeah, they did make a mess, but they did have the Rwanda scheme and it was all ready to go and paid for. And along comes Starmer, and he doesn't want to use it. It was all ready to go. Why didn't they try it? See if it did work. No, but his arrogance wouldn't do that, would he? Because it wasn't his idea.
No,
I
indeed.
can't bear him. I cannot bear. And I'm actually not a fan of Andy Burnham either because he's hoping to stand for the guy that's just left Labour. I don't trust Andy Burnham. I don't like him. I don't think he's a leader, really. I mean, he's up there in Manchester all that time and he never once stopped any of the county line child exploitation gangs. He must have
Exactly.
known it was going on. He
Mm.
must have known it was going
Of
on.
course they do.
Yeah.
Well, they all want the number 10 job. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Who would want it? Oh, dear. Who
Oh,
would?
well, listen, you would. You get your pension for the rest. You might get thrown out like dear old Liz after 6 weeks. You still get a pension for the rest of your life. I'd volunteer straight away. Uh, okay. We've got to go to what is happening with our young people and bearing in mind that it looks like this under 16 online on your tablet phone is going to be passed into law. Australia have done it for a short time.
Won't make any difference.
Well, let's wait and see.
Won't it? Won't because have they not heard of older siblings
Indeed, there's
who
ways
are going to be
round about
using
it.
their phones? They're going to be using their
VPN,
devices.
VPN is the biggest culprit
Why,
in the way around.
rather than do this, why don't they ban the sale of the devices in the first place? Ban the sale of them until they're at a certain age, and also fine those platforms that are putting out the harmful
Big
content.
time.
But it's in the online safety bill. Why aren't they fining them 10% of their net profit?
Well, this has come out of A&E. They are absolutely fed up of getting people in with neck bruises because of weird under 15-year-olds as well being strangled during a sex act, or now knives seem to be popular, and there's more horrendous injuries with knives
Oh, it's dreadful.
during the sex act, and they can't cope with this. And these, I say, are young people.
But
So
this is the influence, though, this is the influence of pornography and Andrew Tate and the stuff that is out there online. That should be taken down and there should be a ban. But even if you ban phones, they will still use their older brother or sister's phone or their cousin. There's always going to be someone that's going to say, use mine. It's not going to stop anything. It won't, I don't think it's going to change anything. And I know also Molly Russell, the little girl that took her own life so sadly, her dad set up the Molly Rose Foundation, and he agrees. He said it's not the right way to go about it. I don't think it is. I think they should hit the social media platforms really hard with the
yes,
content. It is in the online safety bill. Why can't they act on it? Why can't Ofcom act on it?
it's priority again, isn't it?
Well, they'll bring some money into the coffers, wouldn't it?
Yes, he would, but I mean, it's the will to get this off the ground. There's lots of things built in here. It comes down to basically who's governing the country
Yeah.
and what is the blob, the civil service blob, doing about it on their agenda of priorities. Not very much. it needs and can be got hold of. But oh well, it's difficult. It is difficult.
Well, nothing worth doing is easy, is it?
No,
Life is
exactly.
difficult. You know, it is difficult to stop things that are already going down the track, but you have to do it. You have to do it. It is. I mean, I don't understand it because that was what the threat was going to be. If there was if there was all this content, I can't remember what it's called. It's a challenge. This thing about strangling as well. It's a something challenge. It's like putting something around your neck and see how long you can still keep breathing for. It's the
Yes,
something
yeah,
challenge. I can't remember
blackouts
what
and
it is. It's on TikTok. I think it was on TikTok.
TikTok. It is. Yeah. Right, we will leave that one and we'll come on to the Spanish railway service. And obviously, we lived not too far away when we were in Spain to Cordoba, which is pretty close to Sevilla, which is the frying pan of Europe because it's low-lying land.
All
And
right.
even in February, you're going to get temperatures in old money in the 80s. So you can imagine you've got to be careful with your rail tracks as one thing. And of course, there was this horrendous coming together of two very fast chains. And they're the fastest in Europe, actually, the AVE. Ave means bird, and the thing looks like a bird. Actually, it's very slopey at the front. And that very stretch of line we were invited to film on for the inaugural visit. We couldn't because we were inundated at the time. Deep regret there because when they work very well. But we got 41 dead. Could have been a lot more than that. The trains actually have a safety margin of 250 kilometers an hour. They can do 300 and sometimes do. 250 kilometers an hour is near enough to 200 mile per hour, well, 180, I suppose. And basically, one train came off the track, the other train, high speed Ave as well, came off the track, bumping into the wreckage. And it's a miracle only 41 people
Mm,
died.
mm.
100 plus were very badly injured
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
and fighting for their lives still. It is coming about, number one, that it appears, allegedly, to be a crack in the track.
Don't they have
Now,
people that check them?
the safety margins in Spain compared with Britain, who are completely over the top in Britain, safety, but you've got the opposite in Spain. If you walk down the average pavement, you find suddenly there's a big drop to the left or the right, and there's no railings to protect you. It's just that it's just left.
But
Potholes
isn't
everywhere.
that what happened to you when you had the accident?
Not quite, but similar. And it's the joie de vie, that's mixing our language, is here in Spain, and it won't happen to me. And let's get on and enjoy the sunshine. But I'll tell you something: we have a correspondent that works for us who was on that train
Oh,
1 month before, and she said when we neared Cordoba, the train slowed down. And we were jiggered about like you can't believe. Those were her words. It was rattling around from side to side and up and down at reduced speeds. Now, there's no excuse for this, guys, but I'll tell you what, in dear old Spain, there are problems with politics. We will reveal the truth.
but that's not just the one, is there? There's been 3 accidents in 5 days.
In Barcelona, there was a local train, obviously not high speed, and part of the embankment came down the retaining wall. Nobody spotted it. Now that can happen. It can come down in seconds before the train
Yeah.
arrives. When you look at the history of that particular track, it's horrendous. There's incidents, as they're called, every other week on
God,
that particular stretch of line. And it goes
goodness.
on. Well, actually the main trade union in Spain for trains and allied industry, they're all going on a general strike.
Oh,
They
are
know,
they?
yeah, the young guy that lost his life, there was only one fatality, was actually a trainee driver. So that's a young trainee driver. That's regretful. And health and safety, I repeat, is not something that you are given to, not in Spain. Sorry, guys, different laid back attitude.
Well, it's not just railways, is it? I can remember when I lived in Portugal, and you think anybody does anything like putting up lights or fairy lights or anything like that, and it was a time where it's called Obid, isn't it? Obid, Obidos, Obid, just outside Caldas de Reina, and it's a World Heritage Site, isn't it? I mean, it's the whole of the Obid, people call it Obidos, but if you're Portuguese, it's Obid. And it's like it's beautiful, isn't it? It's a village within parapets and a castlement around it, and you can walk around the parapets and everything. There's nothing to stop you falling off. And when you come around to putting up the lights, it's all cobbled streets, bumpy, 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 and they're going around putting up the Christmas lights. And at Christmas, the whole you can see it from the A8, can't you? It's all a blaze of white fairy lights. It is stunning, but they don't. They're on ladders on the back of these trucks that are wobbling around on these bouncy roads. They haven't got anything to stop them falling off. They're not wearing hard hats. And we used to think, cracky, they obviously don't do health and safety over here. They just no. They come and put an aerial up, and it's just amazing how they just get on with it with nothing like we have here. Nothing.
Well, we've got to go. It's time has caught up with us again, but there's a couple of items we must mention. Yeah, 15th U-turn, and among that lot, 13A, let's call it, is the fact that Labour are going to announce very shortly that you're going to get free panels on your roof, free. This is another U-turn, of course. Double glazing. That's not bad, is it? Free insulation and also free anything that will help you make your house more green. This is the lovely Ed Miliband, of course.
Well, Ed Miliband needs to do a rain check on how old this country is and how many old houses. You wouldn't be able here to put in any where I live is a 100-year cottage. There aren't any cavities that you can put any warm stuff in. You can't, you're not allowed to replace your windows. There'd be loads of people like this.
Well, the rules are if you're earning, this is significant, less than 35,000, then you're entitled to all these freebies. And that sounds, oh, help the poor. Hang on. There's a lot of people that are earning more than 35,000 that are poor because of
Exactly.
the number of kids and other incidentals.
Yeah,
I'm being
yeah.
rude now, that gets in the way. Why have the poor been singled out? Now, it's philosophy again. If you help people to help themselves, it's like the old no good giving them money in their hands, they'll spend it. So give them a fishing net to improve themselves. That's where the money should be going, to the poor. We are all to various extents poor or richer on the scale. Now, who decides what? Why should people over this arbitrary amount get money? Why shouldn't they get money? Well, it's difficult, isn't it, where to pinpoint this? It is a philosophical point who we help in our country. And the idea that you've got 35,000 there as a cut-off is, well, who is poor in the country now? If you look at the Roundtree Foundation, they've got this very simplistic view because it is difficult, this. I mean, if you're earning below that amount, where are you spending your money? Is it on booze, fags, Netflix, or Sky? Are they essential from the person
That's all
that
that, but that's all subjective, isn't it?
well, yeah, and other people more frugal that say, "Oh, I can't afford 20 quid a month to watch sport. Regretfully, I'll cut it down." It's always difficult. I'm a firm believer, and this is nothing to do with right and left, it's just my philosophy, and many others, I might say, that please help people to get as rich as they can be, because they will produce jobs for the poor and help with taxes and everything. But
Exactly.
that is the opposite solution of this present Marxist.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, and people, all of the people that are coming out of university, really high-powered people, great brains, they're going overseas, aren't they? Going to America or something like that, or they're going over to Australia. They're not, they're not hanging around. I mean, I think if I was single now, if I was single, I think I would definitely go abroad. I wouldn't stay here at the moment. Well, I'd probably go abroad anyway because I like the sunshine.
Well, yes, I noticed. Listen, we've got to go out on Tracy Brabin, and she's high up mayor of West Yorkshire. And she's dead pleased because the line, of course, is coming now, HS2.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Manchester, they don't call it that, they don't, because that'd be the 18th U-turn or whatever it is. Lose count, don't you? And the Transpennine route is going to go through. The route goes from Hull on the east coast right the way back to Lancashire, nearly on the coast at Warrington. And she's rubbing her hands about this and telling everybody about it. But we, of course, remember the incidents of the police officer in Birmingham, and he's going out on a pension of 150,000.
Oh, that Craig.
Yeah, and the
What
reason
a
is
slime ball he
it
was.
wasn't my fault, Gov. I will voluntarily retire. In other words, he wants to protect his pension. I
Exactly
will,
right.
yeah, I will voluntarily retire.
Absolute slime
Anyway,
ball.
not me, Gov, because I got AI to help me. And what do you mean? Well, it identified two riots on the continent that this Tel Aviv team were involved in, and therefore it was too much of a risk in our locality. Now, that's his story, and we've got to say allegedly, and really, but there is a truth in this. There's a great danger with AI, whether he was porcupine or not. And Tracy, bless her, has come unstuck because she's seen this line and she put in AI and rejoiced in the fact that you need now use the Woodhead Tunnel. I remember this line well. We lived near, and I was on the train several times through the Woodhead Tunnel. It was a big thing, long tunnel, joined Lancashire and Yorkshire. And oh, we don't need it anymore. Why, Tracy? Well, I put the thing through AI, and it identified three Warringtons and two Hulls. And she, of course, looked for the ones that were closest together. And she said, "Oh, it's only a matter of a few yards apart, Hull and Warrington. I didn't realise it." Need I say more? Madam, your geography is shocking. But you get these people in high office that knows nada.
I know. The more stupid they get, the more they're promoted.
Yes. So beware. I caution retail that, isn't it?
It's just some of it's unbelievable, isn't it? Really, it
Well,
really
it
is.
is, and they fly
And they
aeroplanes
get
this
paid,
way.
and they get paid a whole load of money for this, you know?
Oh yes, oh yes. Let's get a mayor here, a mayor there, and it's another mayor when you're not allowed to hold an election. Of course, it's all part of the
Well, it's going to be
merry-go-round.
very interesting to see how this hearing or something Nigel Farage has done. I
On the
mean,
19th of next month, we will know.
it is outrageous that those people, what are we living in China? That they can't vote. It's really awful.
Won't get away with that in China.
Well, really awful. It's awful, and I really hope good for Nigel.
Yes, I think
And we all
What?
know why they want them cancelled, because he knows he's gonna literally lose hands
Oh,
down,
yes, absolutely.
Dharma.
Yeah.
Absolutely lose hands. I mean, I think crunch time is coming. I'm sure something will. I can't believe that this.
It might get rid of this awful government
I I
earlier.
I
It's
think it
that
will.
bad.
I'm hoping it will. I'm hoping it will, because they have got to go. The whole darn lot of them.
There
They're
you go.
awful.
I hope they're listening. Your time is up.
Yeah, well, there we go. I mean, I hope they do. I mean, they're just, oh,
Come in number 10, your time is up.
don't don't get me started.
We've got a dash.
We have
You've
to
got a
dash.
dash. I've got a dash. And we'll see you early next week.
See you next week. Take care. Bye bye, everyone.